That's his daddy name. Looks like his daddy's son.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the February 2023 meeting of the Johnson County Planning Board. As is our custom, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask Ms. Hackler to do us the honors one last time.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second item on our agenda is approval of the minutes from the January 18th, 2023 Planning Board meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Ms. Holmes, a second by Mr. Moore. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The next item on our agenda is the election of officers. So we will need a nomination and a second for a vice chair. We'll handle that one first and then for chair.
I'd like to nominate Miss Michelle Davis as vice chair.
Second.
All right. Are you good with that?
Sure.
I'll ask before I step up.
Sure.
All right, I have a nomination for Michelle as vice chair and a second by Mr. Hudson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I don't think we'll get any of those. All right, we'll take nominations for chair.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Letchworth to continue his excellent work.
Second.
Thank you, sir. I heard a nomination for Mr. Letchworth by Mr. Hudson and a second by Ms. Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you for that. So I'm going to, well, one quick announcement real quick. If there is anyone here for case 23-07, rezoning case 2307, that one has been withdrawn by the applicant. So we'll save you a little bit of time this evening if you're here waiting on that case. One more item I do want to attend to that's not specifically listed on our agenda, but I definitely want to do it at the beginning of the agenda before people get their cases heard and head out the door, because I think this deserves as wide an audience as possible. We do have 3 members that will not be rejoining the board for an additional term. So I wanted to express my deep appreciation to each of those 3, and I have a certificate here for them. I'll do individually just a second. But Mr. Moore, Ms. Bird, and Ms. Hackler will not be joining us. And I think to say that all of your tenure here has been interesting is quite an understatement. All of you have served during COVID, during probably, at least in my 15 years of being on this board, the lengthiest agendas and the most amount of development that I've ever seen. And all of you have absolutely left the county in a better place than you found it. And I'm very appreciative for that. It has been an honor serving with each of you, and I'll repeat this if Ms. Bird shows up, but if nothing else, it'll be on YouTube for her to watch if she's not able to make it tonight. But you've guided development in this county as best as you absolutely could, given our codes and ordinances and the what we are to abide by here. But I'm appreciative for your service. Not to short Mr. Moore or Ms. Bird, but Ms. Hackler, you being on this board. And being friends with you for the past 12 years has been one of the highlights of my life. So thank you.
You made me cry.
Well, I might choke up a little bit too, but it's been a lot of fun serving with you.
It has.
And I'm going to absolutely miss you. So with that, we'll start with Mr. Moore with a certificate of appreciation for you for your 2 years of service on the board. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on the new baby. And then for Ms. Hackler, and I'll read this one, for 12 years of service as a member of the Johnson County Planning Board and 1 year of service as Vice Chair of the Johnson County Planning Board. Thank you. I'll read this one for now, and if Ms. Bird shows up, we'll repeat this, but this reads, for 3 years of service as a member of the Johnson County Planning Board from March of 2020 to February of 2023. So we'll give her a round of applause as well. And watches this later. So with that, we will continue on to subdivisions. I'll remind everyone that all land in Johnston County is owned agricultural, residential, or the vast majority of land. So with that, you can do two things. You can farm it or you can build houses on it. So the cases that are presented before us tonight are presented as quasi-judicial hearings. So if you have questions about anything that's presented before us, we absolutely urge you to ask them. If you'd like to offer testimony in opposition to it, we ask that it be relevant testimony and that you establish yourself as an expert and establish that you have standing if you wish to offer that testimony. But anyone that would like to speak as it relates to a subdivision this evening, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the information you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and this is your solemn affirmation?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, Moore Meadows.
Moore Meadows, January 2023. This is Golden Leaf LLC is the owner and developer. Surveyor is on the level land surveying. Location is 1039 Thompson Road, near Carpenter Drive in Ingram's Township. It's served by the Blackman's Crossroads Fire District and Four Oaks Rescue. It's 2.57 acres, 3 lots proposed, Johnston County Public Water, individual septic. Traffic count's not available. This portion of Thompson Road does not appear on the comprehensive transportation plan as needing improvement. Per NCDOT, lots require 100 feet of separation between driveways. Direct driveway access on Thompson Road. Major subdivisions located on local roads shall be designed so that there shall be no more than one direct residential driveway connection per 500 feet along the same side of the local road, unless it can be demonstrated that the proposed subdivision cannot be physically designed, that no reasonable alternative exists, or it would create an unreasonable hardship without a corresponding public benefit to prohibit individual driveway access onto a local road. Also from the Johnston County Land Design Manual, developments creating 4 more lots where no easement exists and where the parent tracts have direct road frontage and easement shall not be allowed. The development must dedicate a right-of-way meeting the requirements of this section. A waiver may be allowed if determined by the planning board that in pursuit of this section a hardship is created upon the property that provides no benefit to the safety, welfare, and quality of life to the public. This was before you in December of 2022, and it was voted on and denied. I have put both the current map and the map that was previously denied at your table if you have any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, Mr. Moore? Thank you. Who'd like to be heard on behalf of Moore Meadows?
There's Stephen Walker of Walker Kiger Law. Guess you wanted an address too, right?
Yes, please.
100 Professional Court, Suite 102, Garner, North Carolina.
Thank you, sir.
On this application, I want to supplement the record a little bit first, just to help you out with 2 things. We brought 12 copies. I don't know how you want me to hand those out. If you want me to just hand it to one person,
You got it, Mr. Hudson.
or let him do it.
Pass
And
it.
I'll go ahead and then, after he's given you that, I will give that as well. So as you'll see from,
We'll switch here.
I'll let y'all get all this out before I start talking again. Don't count this against my time, Mr. Chair, please.
No, you're good. Take your time.
All right, so just to kind of explain those documents, this is one of the odder ones, I think, that comes before the planning board because you're talking about 2 houses. You're talking about 2 houses. Usually y'all are dealing with subdivisions that are quite a bit larger than this. You're here because this parcel had been previously subdivided. If you look on in your agenda at the plot, you'll see that there are 2 lots, the 2 northernmost lots. Those have been sold. They were sold on the MLS, arm's length transaction, sold to people, and that's why I gave you a copy of the deed for that. So Golden Leaf, the applicant no longer owns those two pieces of property. And so I think that's important because it shows that kind of why we're in a different situation and why it would be a hardship for us to have a private street running through for what would be two houses. Also, what I handed up to you is a copy of the shared driveway application, which has been properly executed and has been approved by NCDOT. So NCDOT has approved it, and we verified with NCDOT that there was no local government approval that was needed on that one, because they said it would have, they wouldn't have approved it if that was required. So there has been a shared driveway that's been approved by DOT. Another thing that I would note for the board is when you look at your agenda again at the plat that's there, and I believe it's also in the documents that I provided if you needed a larger copy, you'll see the southernmost lot says that it's reserved for future development. That lot right there is what provides access to farmland that is behind that group for these lots for tractors to get off the road. And the applicant, my client, Golden Leaf, has indicated that they would be fine with a condition of approval, being that there be no housing structure built on that lot. So we're really talking about two homes. As far as more when it comes to the hardship, it's just economically infeasible to build a private street, to pour a private street, do all that, a private street for two homes. The access would be the same. If you build a private street, there's going to be one access going in. Here, there's only one access going in. And so it doesn't hurt the public at all to have a shared driveway, but it would be a hardship to build it's kind of hard for me to even explain how we would build a private street for two homes that would be a part of the subdivision. So we would definitely ask that you approve it with those conditions and the condition that we suggested about the southernmost lot and not having a building structure on it. So we're asking for your approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions that hopefully I know the answer to. We do have the surveyor here if there's any surveying questions.
I have a question. You have sold lots 1 and 2? Is that what you said?
No, the two northernmost lots that you will see. So,
Those right here. Okay,
so this was previously subdivided into 5 lots.
I see.
And now what's before you is the 3 southernmost lots. As far as it's a major subdivision because it's already been previously subdivided. So those 2 northern lots that say Golden Leaf LLC and Golden Leaf LLC that were previously approved to be those 5 lots, those 2 lots have been sold. They were sold, and that's what that deed shows you to Shaw Homes.
Okay, so my question is, so this parent parcel was previously subdivided, you said 5, I think it's 3, is that
It
correct?
was 3 before, right?
So it's
3, just 3.
previously subdivided into 3 lots, okay? Now, we come in wanting to subdivide the 3rd lot into
3 more.
essentially 3 more lots, 2 lots and then a reserve for future development. I guess from a hardship standpoint, was that hardship not created by the initial subdivision?
It may have been, but I mean, we're talking about, what happened, what happened before when that happened. And when we look at it from what you're trying to do now, and as you all know, anybody that's been in development know that things change over time. Trying to do something good for the farmer that's in the back to make sure that he has still got access, and just simply asking that it be approved based on what I presented to you today and what was put in the application.
Do you have a question, sir?
So how close is this proposed shared driveway to the next driveway? The next Golden Leaf property?
It's at least
We're
100
going,
feet.
they're going to
Yeah.
need to be sworn in and come in speaking to the microphone. They're going to get
So you
testimony.
can, that question is.
Yeah, give us your name and address too, please.
Don Bird, 3541 Stevenson Road, Andrew. It's at least 100 feet because otherwise DOT wouldn't have provided the permit.
But do you know the exact distance between the, 'cause I believe our ordinance states 500 feet,
500
is that
feet.
correct?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's 500 feet.
That's right.
Sure.
I don't have it in here.
And I will remind the board that there's been multiple applications that have come before you less than 500 feet that are in the same kind of scenario as this, and you've approved it, even over denial recommendations by planning staff. And I'm happy to read some of those off to you if you'd like me to. But I don't think that, we're asking for a fair shake here. We're asking that be treated the same as every other applicant that has had that. We think we've shown a hardship, at least the same as other applicants that have been approved in similar situations. And so we'd ask for your approval.
Any other questions of the gentleman? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to be heard as it relates to Moore Meadows? All right, bring it back to staff.
Staff recommendations, denial due to the direct driveway access onto Thompson Road and lots not being internally served, also less than 500 feet of driveway separation.
I have a question for Madam Counselor. Are we allowed to put a condition on a reserved for future development lot that no house or home can be built on it?
So am I on? So our ordinance does not have that as a standard, and I would recommend that you not do that, because that is not a standard. Certainly, they've offered that as a condition for approval, and you can, if you look at the ordinance says that you can approve a development with conditions. However, that's not one that's listed within our ordinance, and I would recommend that you not do that. Certainly, as the plat would be presented to the planning department, it's not going to look any different than what you've got.
Right.
But I would recommend that you not add that as a condition.
Thank you, Madam Counselor.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Ms. Holmes, a second by Mr. Little. Was that correct? Yes. Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, we'll do show of hands for approved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, opposed? 2. All right, Moore Meadows is approved. Searles Track.
Searles Road Track, owners Bradley Allen Lee, developer Southside Building Group, surveyor is Fleet Temple Engineering. This is on Searles Road, north of NC Highway 242 South in the Banner Township. It's served by Banner Fire and Benson Rescue. It's 26.22 acres, 19 lots proposed. Johnston County Public Water individual septic. Traffic counts 470 vehicles per day, and that was in 2016 at the last reported count. 22 property owners were notified. This portion of Searles Road does not appear on the comprehensive transportation plan as needing improvement.
Any questions? Thanks, sir. Who'd like to be heard on behalf of Searles Road Track? Here's your name and address, please.
Hey, everybody. Fleet Temple, 5245 Red Hill Church Road, Coates, North Carolina. I'm Brad Leak, owner, 1636 Jonesboro Road.
Thanks, sir.
I'm here, of course, to answer any questions you may have. I'll hit the typical things that usually come up here that are hard to see. Our mail kiosk is shown between lots 18 and 19, a bump out type scenario. We've got a large open space area in the back. with the access easement going back to it. And there's a graveyard shown in the northwest corner, which the owners will try to get in touch with the family to deed that to the family. So not be included as part of the lot.
So that will be excluded from
Correct.
lot number
Lot
one.
one.
Try to deed it to the family.
What about the
How would you give them
tombstone?
access to that?
Well, they've got a little bit of frontage where their driveway is on the, on Searles Road. And if we had to, we could put a, 20-foot access easement down lot one, down the side.
What about the tombstone that's not inside of it?
We need to incorporate that tombstone
Oh,
into
yeah.
the lot.
Okay,
It'll go all the way to the right of way.
okay. Will this mean, the open space being maintained by HOA?
If they have an HOA that they're still sort of haven't determined whether an HOA or not, it'll either be the HOA or the, I guess, Mr. Lee here.
Yes.
There is a voluntary ag district close by, and so I was going to try to, I did not see that
Yeah,
noted.
that's on the second page.
Okay.
The middle column, right down at the bottom above your DOT stamp.
Do you know what that VAD is?
There it is. Okay, got it.
Say
It
again?
looked like cropland.
Does it look like, okay.
Okay, I see it now. Thanks. I was looking under the name.
So have you made an effort to get in touch with the owners yet of the family of the graveyard?
We took some pictures of the stones and tried to locate and feel pretty confident we should be able
Okay.
to locate. Somebody's been keeping the graveyard up.
Yeah, I was curious about who was going to maintain it and how that was going to be handled. I thought we would need to see that on our maps, but.
It's interesting, it looks like that's actually its own little separate parcel over there in the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That's what I'm seeing,
Map click.
yeah.
Does it have an owner?
Maybe cut off, but I'm pretty sure that
Yep.
it's still.
It's actually, Enoch Engineers did the survey on it. And if you can see, GIS doesn't appear to show it right, where the northern section of it actually crosses the original boundary line.
Yeah.
And so it looks like what Jason with Enoch did is found, yes, he found those corners to the north. So
Right, yeah.
that northern boundary is different than what GIS shows it, I suppose.
Well, regardless, it sounds like you're going
We're gonna do
Cut
our
it
best.
out.
We're gonna
Right.
do our
Cut
best
it,
to keep
right.
it in a good shape.
And we could either, take the southern line all the way to the right of way and give them right of way access right off of Searles Road, or we could, if that didn't work for some reason with planning, we could show access easement back to it.
Okay. So would we need to make that a condition?
It looks like the open space is primarily wooded wetland
It's
anyway.
sort of unusable land, yes, sir.
I do like how there is actually the true open space in there.
Yeah, I think, I've noticed when
Even though
they
it's
do
not
have
there.
funerals and stuff, and I've not seen a lot, but a lot of people that visit pull off the road, put a driveway in there. There's enough room there to pull up to the cemetery.
Okay.
Because it has a border around, I think, the front opposite fence, and there's a cement wall that goes around it. There is one grave, maybe two, outside of that wall. I never really understand that, but I do know that. But somebody keeps the grass mowed and maintained there. 'Cause we're technically, right now, we're farming the land.
Okay.
Any other questions of the gentleman? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to be heard as it relates to the Searles Road track? All right, bring it back to staff.
Staff recommendations, preliminary approval subject to the conditions and requirements in staff report.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion approved by Ms. Hackler, second by Mr. Moore. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, good. Go to rezoning. So now we'll move into the rezoning portion of tonight's hearing. The planning board in rezoning cases serves as an advisory board to the Board of County Commissioners. So these cases will be heard by the county commissioners at their
I'm sorry.
April.
April meeting.
April
Thank you.
4th? Okay. April 4th-ish meeting.
First Monday in April.
First Monday in April, there you go. One day I'll remember that and you won't have to.
Third.
April 3rd, okay. Thanks, sir. Case 2308.
Yes, this is a petition to remove 15.47 acres located at 5842 NC Highway 42 West in Cleveland Township from the environmentally sensitive area. Owner and applicants Triple B number 32 Mast LLC. Utilities and services are Macklemore and CNS Rescue Squad. The area is located within a primary growth area on the comprehensive land use plan and denotes areas of high levels of growth pressures already exist or anticipated near term. I put the environmentally sensitive section of our land development code in there for you to look at. They have also provided maps that are in your packet to show their reasonings why it should not be in the ESA, and they also have a letter in there from Public Utilities Director Chandra Farmer. If you have any questions about that.
Questions? Thank you, sir. Who'd like to be heard on behalf of case 23-08?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Board. My name's Jerry Eatman. I'm a lawyer with the firm of Lynch and Eatman in Raleigh. My address for the record is 3625 Laurel Hills Road in Raleigh. And we serve as counsel to Triple B number 32, the entity that owns this property and that filed this petition. I have with me tonight the engineers from Bowler Engineering, Will Swearingen, who's our civil, and Ryan Gallagher, who prepared the hydraulic map that should be in your materials. I assume it is.
It is.
Yes, sir.
It is.
Okay. The purpose of this rezoning request is to correct error in the ES district map. This property was erroneously shown in this district. Once we discovered the error, we approached the staff about what are we supposed to do about this, and this rezoning request was their recommended way of approaching this. You again have the letter from the Director of Planning Utilities to the Planning Director in your packets, I assume.
Yes, sir.
We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about this.
Questions, gentlemen? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to be heard as it relates to this case? Right, staff.
We have no objection to it being taken out of the ESA.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've seen several instances of this as of late, so.
I make a motion to approve.
A second.
Motion approved by Ms. Holmes, a second by Ms. Hackler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We go forward to the Board of County Commissioners as a recommendation for approval. Any other items for discussion tonight before we handle? Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
For you.
Probably have
Well,
to
let's see.
do this, right?
Let's handle these written decisions first.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So you have 4 written decisions from previous meetings involving 4 subdivisions and action that was taken by the planning board, and we do ask that each of these be treated individually with a motion, adequate second, and vote.
Are we reviewing Fish Hawk Ranch first?
Yes, ma'am. We'll do that one first.
And Madam Chair, just to, sorry, Madam Chair, Madam Attorney, just to remind the public, these written decisions are based on recorded testimony and our recorded session from last month.
That is
That's how
correct,
it's prepared.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Can we have an extra set of these? Nope, she needs a.
We probably got mixed up somewhere.
Yeah,
along
we
the way.
got a
Oh, there they are.
Look, I hit
Okay.
it. My bad.
All the papers over here. All right, which one are we doing first?
Fish Hawk
Fish Hawk
Ranch
Ranch,
Phase
Phase 3.
3.
make a motion to approve the written decision as presented.
Second.
Motion approved by Ms. Hackler, second by Ms. Holmes. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Herring Road tracks.
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Second. Motion for
Motion to
what?
what?
What do you want? No. A motion to approve the decision of Herring Road Track.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion approved by Ms. Howard, a second by Mr. Hudson. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Noose Ridge.
This is the one that Donnie kept pushing and pushing and
Yes,
pushing.
yeah.
I'll
And I
make a
finally
motion
told
to
him,
approve
yeah,
Based
finally.
on the findings of fact and conclusions of
Yeah.
law contained within.
I second.
All right, who, motion approved, Freddie? Okay, motion approved by Mr. Hudson, second by Ms. Hackler. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
It took them long enough, didn't it?
Yes.
And Langdon Pond.
I make a motion to approve the decision.
Second.
Motion approved by Ms. Holmes, a second by Ms. Hackler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, locks that out. Anything else for us this evening?
That is all for you. Other than, I'll just say this, those that are exiting, we appreciate your service from a staff perspective. Thank you very much. Ms. Hackler, especially for you.
Thank
It's been
you.
a long time.
It has been a long
And we
time.
appreciate that. That's dedication. I think we can look back at your attendance record and see how much dedication you've missed very few over the years. So thank you for that. Enjoy. the
Thank
break.
you, thank you.
And we hope it's just a break. I'm going to put that out.
Me in
So-
3 years. I might be willing
All
to
right,
listen.
stay on you.
So thank you very much. So we
Thank
will, we do have plans after this to gather once again together just for, we want to be transparent with our constituency here, and we want to make sure they know we are going to gather together at a local restaurant, but we will be doing so not to transact business, but just as a time of fellowship and say thank you to these members, including Ms. Byrd as well, even though she's absent. But we do appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yep, that's all. Thank you. I'll let you make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Can I say one thing? While I'm
Yes, sir, before we vote.
We have 3 new planning board members who have been appointed by the Board of County Commissioners to fill these seats, and I'd like to bring those up real quick, just quick introduction, and let them introduce you there. Mr. Jay Sasser is our first.
Good evening.
My name is Jay Sasser.
Nice to meet you.
Excited
Nice
to
to meet you.
look forward to helping the county.
Thank you. We
Good luck.
appreciate you being willing to do it.
Hey, good evening, Jared Crenshaw.
Good evening,
Good
Jerry.
evening. Thank you, Jerry.
Jerry Lovering, look forward to coming on next month.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
We look
Gary.
forward to having you. Thank y'all very much for being willing to serve. We appreciate it.
So I have inform them that this is not typical.
Yeah.
They're committed for a minimum of 4 hours every meeting. And longer if needed. But we do appreciate their willingness to serve, and we look forward to working with them.
Yeah, this is an anomaly.
So it is an anomaly, but that's all we have for you this evening.
Thank you, sir. We've got a motion by Ms. Hackler to adjourn. I heard several seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned.
Y'all got out